Well, good morning. This is Mark Ittleman, speech-language pathologist, and welcome to the teaching of talking. This particular video is going to be about caregivers and what I've noticed as the qualities of a caregiver who is able to help their loved one achieve better speech. And I hope I can get that down to a shorter title. But that's what this is about. It's about the very special qualities of caregivers, the ones who really get results. And there are some very definite things that they do, and there are very definite beliefs that they have. Now, I'm thinking of one person right now, and her mother, they're very close, and that's probably the first quality, that the individual family member and the individual with aphasia or apraxia, they're close. They love each other. They help one another. They enjoy each other's company. They have mutual respect for one another. And they're willing to do almost anything to help their loved one speak better. So that's a first quality. That they're kind of dedicated and that they love the individual with aphasia or apraxia. The other quality is someone who follows directions and who follows the recommendations. Now, when you're dealing with apraxia or you're dealing with aphasia, this is something that most people in families and most people who have no experience with aphasia or apraxia, they don't know exactly what to do. And so they have to be open and they have to be able to follow the recommendations and do those recommendations to a T. Now, this particular person I'm thinking about, whenever I work with them, is they take note of whatever we do in that session, and they do it right away, and they pursue it right away, and they don't mind if they're corrected because they want to learn what to do, and they want to learn what typically very few people know what to do. And so they're willing to learn, they're willing to follow through, and they're willing to follow directions. Okay, that's number two. So number three, and this is an interesting one. They get along real well with not only the person with aphasia or apraxia, but they also get along very well with the therapist. They welcome the advice, and they welcome any direction that will help them. And then they go ahead and do it. Now, one of the very interesting things about the teaching of talking method, when we mentor live caregivers whose loved ones have aphasia or apraxia, they enjoy the therapy. They enjoy the banter. They enjoy the interaction. And, you know, if speech therapy isn't fun, then a lot of people just don't want to do it. So that's another thing that we do. We make sure that it's fun. We make sure that it addresses the words, the vocabulary, the phrases, the activities of daily living. We put all of those things into a speech concept. And so we're working on all kinds of phrases and sentences that person needs at home and in daily interactions, so that it's very functional. It's not about doing workbooks. It's not about doing a lot of computer-related work. It's about talking and communicating with one another and talking about the things that are really important to the individual with aphasia and apraxia. Now, the last thing I want to say is that, the caregivers who really achieve are the ones who know from the very start that the process of speech therapy is not an immediate fix. They know that it's going to take repetition. They know that the visits are going to be every week, and they put aside that time to do the work that's necessary for improvement of speaking. Now, it's not something that's easy, but it is easy. But the thing of it is this is a type of thing that must be done on a daily basis. And it's cumulative. And what I mean by cumulative is you start teaching one thing, they achieve that. You then go on to the next thing, they achieve that. You then go on to the next thing. So that's why it's very important to have regularity and consistency in care. Now, the people who don't achieve the results as fast are those who aren't totally committed. I mean, they're committed, but they're not really committed. And so what happens a lot with them is that they're frequently canceled appointments or other things like that. So with an individual who has aphasia or apraxia, that caregiver who wants to be mentored, who wants to learn how to help their loved ones talk, which very few people are really aware of, and very few people really know, they're willing to show up, and they're willing to stimulate speech and language whenever they are with the individual with aphasia or apraxia. So that's a little bit about what some of the qualities are of those who get results and who are stimulating speech. They're usually caregivers or family members or loved ones. So there's no set word to describe the person who helps the individual with aphasia or apraxia. So if you've liked this video, I hope that you give us a thumbs up and that you share this with people who you may think would benefit from this information. So down below the video are a bunch of links, and below the video also are the key points of this video so that you can constantly ask yourself or constantly think about, am I doing the things that will help my loved one with aphasia or apraxia? So on that, I wish you a happy day today. I wish you a good week coming up, a good month. I wish you a good year, and of course, always a happy and wonderful lifetime. Bye-bye now.